What's up, everybody? It's Nick mentioned with another Marvel Crest Protocol video. And this time we're going to be talking about the Apocalypse and his horsemen. And it's wreaking havoc all over the place. And I could talk about this list because I've played it a ton this year, over the past year. And I'm having a lot of fun playing Apocalypse. Let me tell you something. I have not gotten bored playing it. Obviously, it's strong and it's really good. But if it wasn't this strong, I would still be playing it. I mean, I played it last year at Second Wind. I got second at that tournament, and back then it wasn't considered that strong. It was considered okay, but with the meta, how it was, how killy it was, and Thanos being out of control, and Thor 2 being out of control, it was hard to play Apocalypse into that stuff because the attrition was so strong, and your models weren't really, that tanky or anything, and they would just delete models like crazy, and then Thanos would just control Apocalypse to a board edge, and he just wouldn't have it turn. But that being gone, and with Matt B's basically being gone, Apocalypse has emerged as a really strong roster and mid-range, and with the game scoring out very quickly, it's very strong, and it's a very mid-rangey game. This is a very mid-rangey team. And it does it the best, right? It really does it the best. I think them and Inhumans, you can argue. And because the game is scoring out so quickly, it's so strong, right? And, yeah, I mean, it's just the abilities that you could do. And the other thing is, too, like, who is playing the Horseman abilities? And I remember saying this in my video over Second Win. The star of the... Let's just talk about the stars of the Horseman, right? The characters obviously can drive the Horseman abilities, right? But they have to be pretty good in what they're doing. The stars are the Horseman abilities, right? And I've mentioned this a lot. And what do I mean by that is like if you play these effectively and the right way and the correct way, you should be winning the majority of your games. And if you pilot these abilities properly and know all the lines and know the ranges of everything, you should be cruising, right? And it's going to be hard to come back from this because like these Horseman abilities just they're just so, they can be so crippling, right? Like look at Pestilence, right? For each enemy character within 2, you give them one condition, poison, root, or slow. Or you could just do 1 damage to them, right? And I don't know how many times I've seen this, but like Pestilence, like when you leave a character alive on 1 and they have one of these conditions on them, you could just daze them without rolling dice. Or KO them without rolling dice. And save an activation with Apocalypse or something. If you're within 2 of that model or whatever the case may be. But the conditions that are handed out here are all very good. I mean, if you can go up turn 1, and we're going to show this in a second, but like, if you can go up turn 1 and do the pestle, or whenever, it doesn't matter. You don't have to do a turn 1, you can do a turn 2, turn 3, it doesn't matter. If you can get a whole bunch of models all bunched up together, especially against teams that love to bunker up and like do bodyguards and stuff like that, you can get a lot of characters with the root, slow, or poison, and these are all crippling, right? Like you have to pay 3 power for certain super. Now they used to be 2, now they're 3, right? Because of root. You don't gain a power because of poison, and you're slow because of you're slow and you can barely move around, right? You can choose one of those, and they're all really freaking good. And the thing is, you gain a token per character that you put a condition on, and it's just really good. And famine, that's the teleport. You can teleport within 2. You can steal a power. You're starting to see a trend here, right? Like if certain characters play these abilities and they play them to their highest level, it's going to be very crippling. And if you don't understand what all these things are doing, it's a long day for you, right? Like you're going to be losing your game pretty quickly. And the other thing that helped out the list this year too was that Gambit got buffed, right? Gambit's a whole new character. He's just basically... He could delete characters if he rolls the nuts with a bunch of wilds. It's insane. He's either rolling hot, destroying your team, or doesn't roll well and dies, or he's playing famine and he's rolling great defensively and he's parting shotting away and he's famining away with an extract token, and good luck catching him. Right? There's different ways that you can play Gambit. Magic got a health buff, so she has 1 more health on her healthy side. And she's a little harder to one-shot now, right? Back then, she was easy to one-shot. Now, it's like, that 6 health goes a long way. Trust me on that. And she does limbo steps. She does other things. She's still good. She just deletes models with mystic attacks. Beast is probably the best Pestilence player in the game. I know some people play him as war. I wouldn't. But we're gonna get to this in a second with how strong the turn 1 is going forward. So all this combined, if you play it super well, right, and their strongest threat level is 17. I don't know if people know this. Is like most of my games, I swear to you, have been 17 threat, and that's just because of the extract and crisis and the secure and just the crisis pools. You know, most of my threats have been at 17. You know, 15 is gone, 16 is gone, and if I'm not mistaken, I think 17 has the most threat level. I'm just guessing off the top of my head. I think that is the majority. You know, because Extremis plays it, Shi'ar plays it, Spider Infected. No, I know Apoc doesn't play Spider Infected, but you get my point. Struggle for the Cube plays it, Terrigen. That's 5 already, right? And we haven't even got to the Secures yet. The Secures are Extremis, Shi'ar. I mean, we're at 7, so the majority of the Crisis pool is that healthy number of 17, and that's that sweet spot that Apoc wants to play. And the 17 basically nets you this roster here. And this is one of the best rosters in the game along with this. And, you know, Apoc is hitting hard at 16 as well, at 6th threat, you know. And right now the only weakness to this, like, you know, if you can avoid 17 and go to 16, Apoc doesn't do well at 16 because it really doesn't have a 16. But there's not a lot of 16 threat, right? There's no 15 threat in the game, right? Not that it should ever come back. But if there was like a 15 or 16, like more 15 and 16s, I mean, this probably maybe just goes away. Because they don't do attrition well, right? Like they can do attrition, but their main focus is not, hey, I'm going to board wipe you, right? They're not going to do that. That's not their style. So one of the strongest things in the game, well, for the Apocalypse roster right now, is them net gaining a token turn 1, okay? So here, let's see. During the power phase, this card gains 1 evolution token. So basically, you start the game with 1 token, okay? And what that enables is turn 1 play shenanigans, right? And let's give you a few examples of some of the things that you can do that turns on just a lot of stuff. So let's go ahead. Let's go and line up. Let's just show how strong Beast is. So what you do is you line up Beast on either side of the Secures here, right? So you just choose one. And Beast, we all know this. Beast has the medium move, medium base. He can double move to any, basically, like B or Mcron Crystal. He can go across and get to the other side and contest, etc. He can do all that kind of stuff. So when you add that with Pestilence, right? You can do crazy things because of the token that was given. You only need 1 more token to do the thing, right? Beast can easily just double move out to here, right? And granted, this isn't the order you do things in, but because you always, I'm losing everything here. I'm sorry, guys. I apologize. I'm trying to show how strong getting the token turn 1 is, and I'm just right now everything's like out of order. And I have a new desk, so certain things aren't working. All right, cool. Back to this. All right, so the turn order is always like, okay, the famine guy just moves up to here, gains a token. Now you're at 2, right? Let's look at what you can do for two tokens, because you can use the tokens to use the horseman abilities. You can use famine on Apoc to teleport within 2. You can use pestilence on Beast to do the pestilence. You can also pestilence with Apoc because he can double move as well. And you can war someone if someone decides to get within 2 of you for some reason. You can just do war and just maybe delete somebody. So there's a lot of options, right? So now you're at 2, right? You're at 2 tokens right now, just by doing this. Just by moving to here, you're at 2. Okay, cool. So what a lot of people like to do is, you know, they like to put, you know, maybe a model or 2 on a secure for whatever reason, or like put 1 guy here, or whatever the case may be, right? Or set up the bodyguards, etc. Well, Beast, especially on Mcron, can just move like this. He can come here, contest, if he really wants to. He can contest here. If he hits the fail result, well, you don't get the secure, but what does it matter? You gained a power. You're at 2. And what you can end up doing is double moving to here. And if they have 2 models, and look at the range within 2. I'm going to go to the max of the medium distance here. This is the max. Look at the range I'm covering. Right? Now, granted, you could body block this or whatever, but I just choose a different angle at that point. Look at the range that I'm covering. That's going to hit at least a couple of models, right? So now from here, your decision is, if I have 2 power, well, I can contest here again if I want to, because it's Emkron, it's only 1 result. Or if it's Mutant Madman, I can just roll 4 dice and contest. And if I get another fail result, well, I just got the power back, okay? And then I could use the 2 power to Pestilence, and what that does is that leaves you with 2 tokens, right? And also that gains you 2 or 3 tokens. So that puts you to 4 or 5 right away. Now that is like best case scenario, right? Like you're not always going to roll a fail result. But that's an example of a model using the best of his ability, using Pestilence in one of the best ways possible because of the big base and the medium move and how close the secures are, especially the secures that Apoc is playing. Like Mutant Man's pretty spread out, but Shi'ar and Emkron are they're so brought in that these models with the medium base, medium moves can like cover so much ground. I mean, it's insane what you can do. So once you do that, yeah, like I said, in this scenario that I just listed, I gain 2 tokens. I'm at 4. So what ends up happening is Apoc's at 4. I can spend 2 tokens to famine hop forward, teleport within 2, move 1 time, and do a mystic, energy, or physical attack on a character, and have 2 tokens to reroll. Like that's very, very strong. That's on turn 1. And there's a possibility that Apoc is probably going to maybe daze your model that turn. Or Apoc can double move and Pestilence the other side if he wants to. Now, Apoc's Spender, he gets a lot of dice if you have a lot of conditions on you. And what that also sets up is the Pestilence. If I leave you on 1, Pestilence, you have a condition on you, I can just daze you and save an activation, right? So that's an example of a strong turn 1 play, right? And why I'm talking about the strong turn 1 play, and there's going to be Apoc players, you don't do that, it's a bad play. Okay, that's not the point here. The point is that it's an option that it can be done. It is something that you can do, okay? And we're trying to show an example of why having the token turn 1 is very strong. And it turns on a lot of turn 1 plays, which AMG, historically does not like, right? So, like, and this is where we're going to get to what I think needs to be changed with Apocalypse from this example. Personally, I do not think Apoc should start the game with a token. I think it should be moved to cleanup phase. It basically takes the token away turn 1. It forces the Apoc player turn 1 to initiate a little bit more, or like, come up with something different to get these plays, or play differently, right? Turn 2 on, I think, is fine to getting the tokens. Because that's when the game is really started, right? Turn 1 is mostly should be about setup, getting in position, etc. Turn 2 on is when the game should start, right? In my opinion. Tokens should be moved to cleanup phase. Either make Pestilence or Famine 3 power. That's another one. Choose one. If you make Pestilence 3 power, then that way, okay, turn 1, you can't really do it. You still can. There's a way to. You can still do, Famine gain a token. If Beast go moves and attacks or contests and gains power, or whatever the case may be, it makes it harder, right? It makes one or the other harder. And I think they should just do that. My opinion should probably be Pestilence going to 3 power. Famine, I think, is fine at 2 power. I think it's okay. Nothing wrong with. I don't think there's anything wrong with Apoc teleporting. If you remove the token turn 1, now Apoc has to gain 2 tokens. So now it's like, okay, I have to Famine, gain a token, and like find another way to get one. The other way to get another token after that is with War. War, you gain a token if you take a damage or deal a damage to a character. So Magic would have to shoot someone range 4 and try to gain it. So if you don't gain the token, well, now Apocalypse has to spend a power and a token to move within 1. And why that's significant is that right now, Apocalypse on D extracts, okay, on D-shaped extracts, he can teleport within 2, pick up the token, and move medium and do an attack. He could do on hammers. He could do an 8. He could do an 8 dice attack with that. Okay, so that's why that's significant of not having a token turn 1. So you can't do certain things like that. And I think if you'd make those changes, because here's the thing, at least at mini extravaganza, not mini extravaganza, at Adepticon, I think we heard that like models like Mr. Sinister are getting adjusted. We heard about Gambit. We heard about Magic. So if there's more models that are going to be improved in the leadership, well, in the affiliation, I'm sorry, we need to address these things. And you know, hey, we don't want this. I don't want this to be super broken, even though it's close to it, S tier. I think what's helping this along is obviously the scenario pack right now. It's a more of a mid-rangey game, obviously. So that's why Apocalypse is so strong right now. The game is just going up pretty quickly, and what he does, he cripples teams really well. You know, if the scenario pack were to change back to a more killy team, and, you know, more killy, maybe Apocalypse wouldn't be as strong. But the thing is, all it takes is for the Crisis pack to change back, and Apocalypse is the boogeyman again, right? We don't want that. What we want is, you know, hey, him to be strong, but not like this, like crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, it needs to be dialed back a bit, and that I will admit. And I've played a ton of games with Apocalypse, so I have a lot of experience with this. And you know, and I think if you make these subtle changes here, I think that's the way to go for Apoc, and I think it'll be fine, honestly. But yeah, you're starting to see, you know, those are my thoughts overall on Apocalypse. I know it's it's early in the morning, guys. I apologize. Like I just said, I need to make this video. You know, I've been wanting to make this video for a while now. And, you know, yeah, I can get more in detail, but I think this is the majority of my brain dump right now. And I'll let you guys in the comment section give me your thoughts on Apocalypse and all that, and we can chat it up in there. All right, if you guys can, do me a favor, like, dislike, comment, and subscribe down below. Give me your thoughts overall on what I think about Apocalypse and what changes would you make, or if you wouldn't make any changes, what would you do going forward? And what are you looking forward to? Mini Extravaganza. That is this weekend, November 15th, guys. Keep your eyes out on that. That's always fun. They always have some nice reveals at the Mini Extravaganza, so I'm hoping this year we get some crazy ones. And you know, have some fun. All right, guys, take care. Have a wonderful, blessed day. I'll catch you on the next video. Take it easy. Bye.